Before we get into Sweat Equity podcast, we're going to try a little pre-roll ads. Ooh, yeah. We are in Creative Loafing's Best of the Bay for the Best podcast. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, that is your alternative newspaper. We're going to put the link in the podcast episode description, but vote for Sweat Equity for Best of the Bay. What else we got? You are
the studios, best recording studio, Sweat Lodge.
Sweat Lodge recording studio.
Ooh, this thing really hits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to geek it down a bit, but we have to have a little background music so people know this is the ad portion of the show.
Yeah, well, it's definitely different.
You're under Best Mover or Shaker, or you're under Best Radio Personality?
Best up and coming radio personality.
All right, so
I feel bad. I'm even on that.
Why?
I don't know.
Eric Reginger under there. I'm under Best Comedian, which would be really funny if you want to vote for that. The website is not very good, so if you have the patience to do it, it does take about 45 seconds. If you're on mobile, it's going to be like, did this load? I don't know what's going on. So just be patient with that. The other things I've got, I'm at the Tampa Improv on 8/8/19.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You gonna come?
Yeah, sure. You opening for somebody?
I'm on Matt Fernandez, friend of the program, guest on the show. When we had a Giggle Fest last time he was here,
that was fun.
He's gonna be doing a showcase show, and I'm just gonna be weaving in there. So I'll probably be up at as you hear this on Monday, I'll be at the Dunedin Brewery, probably working some stuff out, and then 8/6 I'll probably be in St. Pete working some stuff out at Iberian Rooster. If anybody in the Tampa Bay area, we have people outside of the area, but a lot of people here.
Yeah, book your flights. Come see Law.
I'm gonna start booking
things out.
I need to start booking some shows like I used to. So I'm getting back into that. And then, if you want to support the show, go on iTunes, give us a 5-star rate review, and subscribe to the podcast.
Share with your friends.
If you want to help us, I won't go into the whole ad for every one of our sponsors, but if you need a business phone line, you need a second phone line, use Grasshopper. Use Grasshopper. It's a phone app. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. If you need accounting software, if you need invoicing software, FreshBooks, get that direct deposit the next day, son. Don't wait around. Don't get screwed by QuickBooks or Xero, spelled with an X, Xero.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
For an accounting software.
What are we, Chinese? No. Let's
spell the number right.
I want my books fresh, and I want them FreshBooks. It's gofreshbooks.com/sweat. And then lastly, warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. Warby Parker, the disruptor in the eyeglass kind of eyewear community, $95 to get good-looking glasses. You don't have to pay $350. You don't have to pay $500 for prescription glasses. That's what happens when you have no competition, guys. You have no competition, you can raise the price on whatever you want. You can own the eyeglass health insurance.
Yeah, monopoly.
It's so crazy how they just swallowed everything up, and Luxottica's not a monopoly. I have a buck up my ass about it. But now we can get into the program.
Okay, here we go, buddy.
Let's see this transition.
Let's see if I can do it. Let's see here. Gotta get the volume jacked up. Let's do this.
What about my sweat equity?
Good.
Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Feel like a real show doing that pre-roll.
Oh my God. Thank God it's over.
Sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to do those ads really quickly or do plugs really quickly. However, I do get a lot of people that are like, what is the thing that you'll have? The people that listen and I talk offline with.
Uh-huh. What do you mean the thing that y'all have?
They're like,
the sponsors?
what's that? And you're like, yeah. We do it half the time. Half the time we don't.
Right. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
Well, and if you're doing something creative like this, you're doing your own podcast, or you're doing a streaming show, you're doing... Where am I? I'm pointing at camera White Girth over here.
Yeah, you're Mr. White Girth.
Well, we lost the red light on all of them, so I don't know sometimes when it's...
We didn't lose it. I turned it off.
That's helpful.
Well, it's if we have a guest and we're doing crosstalk, you can't the camera blends in a lot better without the light on it. People don't even notice they're there, but with the light on, it's like a beacon in the night.
Yeah, but I could talk directly to this this camera now it's off. Now I know it's we're on a 2-shot, right?
Yeah, you've lost privileges.
What they've called a 2-shot. Oh, is that are you gonna passive aggressively?
No, that's just
take
aggressive.
the solo off.
Straight aggressive.
Straight aggressive. What? So I would say, sometimes you can create ad inventory with the creatives you're doing. This show, if you want to call it ad inventory, you can call it just ad space. Sometimes, hey, you're writing a book, you have a brochure you're handing out at football games, a yearbook, whatever. You can create ways to monetize that. It doesn't have to be all YouTube celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
Where you're monetizing your channel.
Oh, they've been selling ads in the back of your books for years.
So I'm saying someone came along and goes,
Congratulations on graduating.
yeah,
first
why don't we
grade."
charge people, parents, to feel bad?
Right, exactly. Where's my full page at?
Let's guilt trip them. Or I heard Joe Coy talking about when he started doing stand-up, he I think it's called four-walling. He'll buy the theater, he'll rent it out, even as like a young open micer who's doing this in Vegas. But what he did is he went around, he four-walled a theater, so rented it out for a night, did 2 shows, paid for the theater, so you got to cover those costs. You got to try to make some money. He wanted to pay the comedians too. And so he went around and got brochures made, and then he sold the advertising spots.
Man, that is hustle
This
there.
is 20
Jesus.
plus years ago too.
That's pretty crazy hustle. I mean, that's a lot of work.
And
it might not work at all.
That's literally sweat equity.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it's about. He goes, all right, he didn't, and here's the thing about attitude too. He didn't go, fuck this. This should be sold out at a higher ticket range, and then bitch about it. He just goes, okay. And then I think this is what makes a big difference with entrepreneurs versus just just people that can't really look at the alternative revenue streams. There's the old meme. I guess it's not an old meme, but it's an old like kind of parable, I guess.
Right.
I just came from church, so I'm thinking parables.
It's in Psalms.
Yeah, much. I'm a better human than you because I went to church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
By the way, I like your Dixie cup tank top. Not a sponsor.
I don't think it's Dixie. I don't know. I think it's actually a level lower with the green and purple design shirt that I got.
Paper plastic cup. Dixie.
It don't matter.
I'm gonna Google image that.
Okay.
So I think, it's Solo.
Oh, see? Okay. I believe
Solo's better than Dixie, though.
Okay, cool. Great.
Hey, this is important. Everybody wants to know this stuff.
Yeah. Jazz print.
Jazz print. Yeah.
Love it.
And it's on an Express Med site, which is weird. Anyway, what I think is interesting is there's a meme that's been around, but it's a story told in business forever. It's like the difference between an entrepreneur and just someone who's like a marketing manager or something is like you can get more revenue streams out of one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so for this show, we could just go, well, we're waiting for an ad company to come along and sponsor us.
Yeah.
Or we create more space for it.
Yep.
We'll fill it in with, I'll try to do a post-roll ad for a consulting firm, Tokabaga,
Okay.
at the end. But maybe someone comes along and goes, hey, I want to take that spot.
Well,
And
yeah.
in a weird way, when there's a velvet rope too, with just psychology of people, when there's a velvet rope, when there is an ad spot there, sometimes people want to go, I want to take that spot.
Well, I mean, it's like...
Isn't that weird?
It's not done yet, but I've reached out to some people about sponsoring the naming rights for the studio.
Yeah.
So the blank Sweat Lodge podcast studio, so just to create that extra revenue stream, it's something you got to think about because nobody's going to do it for you. I mean,
No, I thought that was really savvy. That's something the NFL did. All the NFL stadiums did.
Yeah.
There's a few holdouts that, like, I think Pittsburgh doesn't do it. Maybe. Oh no, they're
Heinz
Field, right?
I think they all do it. It's stupid not to.
I feel like Green Bay doesn't do it, or because they have the shareholders of the city or something.
Yeah, I think Green Bay, I don't really know, but they probably have like
It's
Lambeau
Lambeau.
Field, or they'll say something
Wisconsin
stadium
cheese.
at Lambeau
Yeah.
Field.
Mhm.
You know, they'll tweak it.
So it's like, yeah, it'll be Heinz Field, but it'll be Three River Stadium, sponsored by
Right.
PNC
Yeah.
because they're a Pittsburgh bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, pull a Pittsburgh one out, something out of your ass from Pittsburgh.
Wow, it's good.
Hershey's is nearby, I think.
That's on the other side of the state.
Is that Philly? Closer
Yeah.
to Philly? You know what I mean, though. But
Mhm.
Pittsburgh's actually more of a financial town now. People realize. But PNC's, I think, from there. Now I got to look that up. But what I'm saying is that was a smart move by you to go, okay, we have the ad part, but you know what that sponsor might get is the 5 other podcasts out of here, too.
Exactly.
That's actually a better deal.
Right. I was like, man, if you had it so that every podcast says, hey, you're coming from the whatever Sweat Lodge studio in Tampa, Florida, boom, you're getting run every time there's a podcast, not just ours.
Yeah, Pittsburgh National Corporation, PNC Bank, which you're a member of. So
Proud member.
so that's that thing of like, oh, not only that, but we can add graphics on here now. If we get hired to live stream an event, we could figure out how to bake in a sponsor, not the YouTube floating ad, but the actual baked in graphic, like we have our watermark at the bottom right corner if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Vimeo or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually the first time I've done that today. Right. I baked it in live.
Oh, really? You're
Normally
doing that in post every time?
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to do it in post. I was just like, fuck it, do it today.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll go live. And that'll be a gimmick.
One day.
One day we'll go live. I might fuck around with that today.
It's tough to go live.
It's tough to go live. The quality gets fucked out. However, you know, I think it'll be a better show. Or I'll splinter it off into the Work Smarter podcast I've been trying to think about doing for a while and talking about
Trying to think about doing it.
I just did it
You
like
just created 3 steps.
I looked at my Auburn cup and I said, how would someone from Auburn say that? And I'm figuring to do.
I'm thinking about trying to do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you got going on? Anything in your life?
Well, you want to talk about my AC?
Sure.
Air conditioning?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
No, but I wasn't pushing for anything really, but we were talking about it right before. And there's an interesting metaphor in there.
Well, so I had my AC's been an absolute nightmare at my house where it's gone down 10 times in the last year or so. And at this point, I've had 3 different people come out, give me 3 different diagnostics on it or whatever you want to call it. And I was telling you because we had the Your Home Services guys who were on a previous episode.
Yeah, a couple episodes back.
Trevor came out and he diagnosed it as one thing. We had another guy come out and diagnose it as another thing. And one guy got it kind of working and it was good for a couple days. Now at my house, it's hot as shit now again. But you were like, oh, it's just a patch. And like, that's a good metaphor for the show.
Well,
you know, sometimes it's a patch.
Solving problems, right? So one was get an overall fix, rehaul it.
Yeah.
That was one diagnosis, which I was like, well, if that's what he said, I doubt he's doing you dirty.
No, I didn't think that at all. I just wanted to not be hot. Dude,
right. Well, that'll fuck with your brain.
Bro, I don't know why, but like AC being out might be the most stressful thing that can happen to me. I get hot and I'm like, I can't fucking think. I can't figure anything out. Like I can't do anything. It was just a mess.
Literally our studio is called the Sweat Lodge.
I know. Ironically.
We keep it as 69 as much as we can.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like
oh, fuck you. Nope, nothing.
No
Never mind.
soundboard today?
Nope, it's not working.
What?
It's working.
We need like a That's so creepy.
I'm not
It
doing
sounds like
Just
he's either taking a dump or just relieved himself.
It can be anything. That's why it's great.
He's got his foot rubbed at the airport.
Right.
So it's the Sweat Lodge. We keep it as hot, as cold as we can because it can get like 90 degrees in here. But the reason a Sweat Lodge exists, if you think about it, it was to get you to that next level.
Yeah.
It was, but it's supposed to break you down to build you back up.
Right.
So,
It is so ironic because it's like I'm all about that too.
Yeah.
Ice bath is the same
But not,
idea.
but not as your normal state of being.
It's just like, well, it's just like I want to pick it.
Right.
Like I've talked about, man, I should just be
Oh.
going up in my attic to do my own sweat lodge, like sweat out, sauna style.
That'd
sort
be a
of
weird
thing.
dad move. That'd be kids in therapy.
No,
later.
I don't think
Dad was super cheap.
they
Wouldn't
get
go
it.
to a sauna,
They get it,
steam room.
but
You can go schwitz at the gym.
it's just like if it's not my choice, then fuck that. Sucks.
My dad used to just try to hide from the family.
He says he was like going next level or some shit. I don't really know.
I think he thinks he's Jesus, but he would go in our attic
Yeah,
and probably just do meth for a
Yeah.
while. So,
teach it out.
but so that's funny about like not being able to control that, and you're not a control freak. But when it's put upon you, when it's foisted
Yeah,
upon you,
got foisted.
that you're like, this is miserable. That's when I would run over here to the office when RAC went out at our place and no one was there during the day but me. I'd be like, I'm taking the dogs. I'm coming over to the office. 'cause
Yeah.
the AC's awesome here.
Yeah. Oh no, that's why I was here early. Don't worry, I was here.
So long story though, there was a metaphor for patching versus fixing,
Yeah.
and dads deal with this all the time because you're like, what's good enough?
Mhm.
Sometimes these are emotional. Sometimes these are
Right.
drywall.
Right.
But I mean, what's good enough to get by? AC is a tough one. The cars are a tough one too.
Right. It's always like, do you put the money in, and hopefully, this new thing that gets installed is no bubbles, no troubles. But it might be a lemon too.
Right.
We could get away with $190 Freon shot and get it going, and it works for a year. But also something else could go bad.
So I've got two thoughts on this, right? One is building the community around you. So you have people that you trust their opinion, and that is proactive. That's not easy. I've told everybody I'm going to church again. Not really. I zone out almost every time, right?
It's okay.
I go to BNI every Wednesday, my networking group. I'm going to a couple more things that are kind of consistent on a weekly basis. I'm doing it more as a proactive community thing. I saw that we're on a marketing level, not getting as many, or business development level for Tocobaga, not getting as many calls. We're getting better quality, I like, but we're not getting as many. And it's because I've kind of done this thing where I've been like, I need to put my head down. I need to get to work, and and now keep myself in this office working for 16 hours some days.
Yeah.
And that's not maybe the best use of my time necessarily, right? Because it has diminishing returns. I kind of looked at how much work I was outputting against the timesheets and all that stuff. This is a roundabout way to say, like, I'm making sure I'm getting out there more, calling up friends I haven't talked to. Hey, let's go get dinner. Let's, like I used to kind of do it.
Yeah.
Um,
You've curated
right.
the environment.
And when you have these people in your community, just like think about it, like I think about like a village, like an old school village. You had a village elder that can be your pastor, your rabbi, whatever it is, your mentor.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to tell you what was going on because they were wise. They had wisdom.
Yeah.
Experience times knowledge, right?
They knew everybody's beeswax.
Yeah, but I mean, no. Well, that's the gossip. If you want to break that down, that's chick stuff. I'm going to take a real good feminist stance on this.
Here we go.
Eliza Schlesinger has a beautiful bit about it in her stand-up.
Way to pull the nose up on it.
What?
Give the female comedian a compliment.
It's
do
not
a
my.
compliment sandwich?
I learned it from her.
Okay.
I learned it from her bit.
All right, I'll stop.
I kind of say like comedian friend. I always kind of delegate that. If I have their number and I can text them, that
counts.
That counts. So if I ran into her, she'd be like, "What's up?"
Okay.
Right.
Good.
But we're not texting each other on the reg kind of thing.
Okay.
She has a great podcast called Ask Eliza Anything. I really enjoy it. But what I was going to say is she breaks down this bit about how the villages, why women are gossipy is because it's knowledge. It's to protect. It's self-preservation.
Yeah.
Guys are going out hunter-gatherer style. Women, they're holding it down. right? At home base, campground.
Yeah.
And so the reason they need that knowledge over each other is to protect one another.
That's very interesting.
Right?
It's very deep.
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
And that's how far back that shit goes.
Yeah.
So when you think women are being catty against each other, it's really a thing that's just primal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But like, I used to think it was weird when like a chick would walk in at a party wearing something similar to the girl you brought, you know?
Uh-huh.
And they would get unreasonably upset.
Yeah.
And you're like, who cares?
Yeah.
You wear it better. You know, you'd say something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck that.
Right. But now I can't produce all the offspring in this village.
Well, why do you wear lipstick as a female?
Right.
It's supposed to give that feeling of your
like you have blood in your lips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you're fertile. Is it fertile?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's weird.
Right? Well,
weird.
Business is psychology. So this is why we get down these rabbit holes lately, because it really does break down to like very primal, carnal kind of thinking.
Yeah.
So
always, every time.
So have that community around you, right? So and that's what let's just go 1950s to now, a little bit more of the modern household. Women, they have more of the purchasing power than you realize. They may not put the card down, but they know what's going on in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They're more protective of the kids, right?
Yeah.
So typically they'll know all the vendors. They'll know they're the ones back in the day. There's more dual income households now, but they're the ones that were waiting at home for the guy to come over and fix something.
Yeah.
Right.
That's me now.
Well, yeah, but you have a flexible schedule. You're doing 4 things.
No, I know. I'm like I'm with all the other ladies in the village.
Well, but I'm saying you don't have to demote yourself emasculating wise.
I didn't emasculate. I'm just saying.
I heard your penis get smaller. Like I heard it. It sounded like when the keyboard
sucking in, slurped it right
becomes
in.
a tail.
Now I feel emasculated.
No, you're good. But building that community proactively, going out there and doing that. Now you have people like I built up one with my auto repair shop because I've gone there 10 years.
Right.
And I go out of my way to go, hey, do y'all want free tickets to stand-up show?
Yeah.
And they know me as the comic. They don't know my name.
Right.
But they know me as the guy that comes by and gives them free stuff. That's where I met Joe Madden.
Ooh.
Yeah, and fucking hounded him at the auto. I was like, oh my God, you're Joe Madden.
I've got to get it all out now.
I'm such a nerd.
So much to say.
I was like, I read the extra 2%. I love you. You ride your bike. What are you doing here? I know you ride your bike and drink wine. Why are you at the car shop?
How's your new restaurant doing, by the way?
He was like, okay, buddy.
Okay.
I was like, I'm a stand-up. Do you want to come to my show?
Just give me your number.
And
Just
this is
tell
how
it to
we
me and we'll
become
text each
friends
other.
with a 70-year-old general manager.
Just regular manager, but
He's the GM of, is it?
it's just manager.
They don't call him GM?
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Manager?
No, GM is a different guy.
Oh, football.
Well, they have a general manager. It's just that's the guy making all the moves, trading players and signing guys.
Yeah, baseball is silly because you still dress up.
It is the funniest.
You still have to put on.
You have to wear the uniform.
I wish there's tape. There's got to be tape of Tampa Zone Lou Piniella putting on the uniform.
Dude.
Like just being like, God damn.
Do you remember at one point we had Lou Piniella, Tortorella, and Gruden?
Yeah.
As the 3 like coaches of our major sport, like the biggest
trifecta
insane hotheads you've ever. It was just like a melting pot of insanity. Tortorella might have been the worst one.
Hey, we needed that with it's like Trump. We needed Trump after a while. We got it.
Oh, we got it all right, baby.
And it'll swing back the other way. We'll get like a Jimmy Carter kind of. Yeah, we'll get someone who's addresses the nation like that.
Yeah.
Go, my fellow Americans.
Listen, this is the state of the nation. And that's all I got for you.
So building that community around you, that'll help you make that decision, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know everything. You know what you don't know.
I know. It's
right.
Just like...
You can YouTube as much as you want. And I know that rush where you have to figure shit out on the fly. You're sweaty too. Add to that mix, it's messing with your head.
Yeah.
And you're
sweat dripping in your eyes trying to do shit.
And you're trying to go like, okay, I got to watch a couple YouTube videos, figure out just base knowledge. I do it just to talk to the guys sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm
so
hiring.
you don't look stupid.
No,
really.
just so I'm shorthanding it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You learn that being a manager, like here, we manage a lot of subcontractors, and you go, how am I going to talk to a graphic designer if I don't know the language?
Yeah,
It's going to get frustrating for me.
you cram right at the last minute. Okay.
Well, yeah,
well,
I'm going to go, hey, I
keywords.
need an AI file, and I need that to be the editable file, and I need a PNG because I need it transparent. And you know this stuff vaguely. I'm
Right.
not like Matrix,
Yeah,
put it in your brain.
I know
real quick.
kung fu.
Right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like I'm trying to go 10% that way so they can come the other 90% to explain everything.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's crazy how much AC knowledge I've picked up, and still don't matter.
Right.
It's like,
We should worship AC too. Like
yes,
especially in Florida.
that should be the church.
That should be the church.
Church of AC. Just go and just get your face blown by the nice strong winds of the AC God.
My contemporary service, they should get rid of the guy with the drums behind the plexiglass, which always makes me laugh.
They have
You know what I'm
drums?
Oh, we're the cool. I go to the cool service.
Oh, okay.
The 930, the
They
one
keep
that's
it
squeezed
lit.
in there.
AF.
Well, they do have a Mevo camera because of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that.
No.
They run.
They live streaming?
They live stream.
service?
So I've been watching it when I don't go.
Oh, that counts.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to. I do kind of listen, but it is a thing for me to sit and be quiet for an hour.
That's
or
good.
45 minutes or whatever. But you've never been to Cool Church?
I've been to Cool Church.
But they have like way too many basses. They have like at least one guy that's playing the bass like real into it.
Slapping that bass.
Right. They can't put the arm up because they need both. They need both arms.
Yeah.
They got the drummer that's always behind plexiglass because you can't have it too loud.
In case you get shot.
It's weird because it's in an old church, over 100 years old, which is old for us here. But like,
I just don't. What song are they bringing in a bass line?
it's
just like,
just throw Jesus into any song.
Okay.
That's. I mean, I don't. None of them are catchy to me.
On Eagle's Wings?
I don't know that one. I was gonna try to yes and it, but I got
up on Eagle's Wings. That one. That's the only one I got off the top of my head.
I only know the ones from going to Catholic high school.
Yeah, well, that's where. What do you think I got it?
God is an awesome God. He reigns
yeah.
from heaven above.
Classic.
We molest little boys.
We should do a church album.
Yeah.
Eric and Law sing the hits.
I don't think they
what
want
they
that
can remember.
molester part. I just added in, but
Well, our audience will buy it.
it's not slander because one guy got convicted our senior year and got kicked out. One priest.
Yeah.
They hit him in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Ooh.
shout out to Tampa Jesuit. So, fix versus patch, right? So, what you need to know, you don't have a lot of experience. You don't have a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of that. I have to remember that all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
As much as you might know something about whatever specialty you have, there might be a way to pull that wisdom from somewhere else and relate it to what you're doing.
What's interesting is out of the 3 AC guys that came, the oldest one was the one who at least got it up and running while he was there to cool it down a little bit.
Right. We're ages too.
Right.
There's value. There might be value in the guy with the very charred hands.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. The problem with old people is they don't know how to get this
You
shit
Bill
out.
Maher?
They don't
The problem with old people.
lesson bag.
New rule.
Yeah. They just don't get it out, and then young people are bored with what they're saying and they don't ever get the knowledge that they're trying to
bad communicators.
Right. They just don't. It's just like, well, they had all these details of the story and nobody ever listens to me because I'm an old grandpa and here I am. Everybody's looking at me. I'm going to eat this up and talk forever.
I don't know if that is an age thing, honestly. Because how many people do you know that are like, they're telling you about your vape business?
Well,
and you're
yeah.
like,
Okay.
Wow.
That exists across all age spectrums, but in general, it seems like the older people who don't have anything going on are the worst. It's like what they're in no rush. Get
But
it out.
how hard are we on them to go, man, this guy's got no friends because he's old.
I
Because he's talking a lot.
say that, just said
That's
they
what you're
needed-
getting to.
No, I mean it's just they
Look,
just
man,
get
from
it out faster.
from A to C, we jumped through B.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I mean, I could go down the steps of like, well, maybe he don't have a lot of friends, and they died off. Maybe.
All my friends are dead.
Yeah,
Oh.
this podcast. We're trying to get jokes in from A to C without B, as I heard Nick Kroll talk about.
It's good. And we're talking about AC.
Boom! Wow!
Should I just
Holy
end
shit!
it right now?
I don't know.
End this bitch.
Do we just? There should be a fucking parade outside.
I know.
So patch versus fix, the proactive community, people you can trust around you. That's why you have communities. That's why cities kind of existed. Urbanization, it kind of helps everybody.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
everybody has different specialties. They can do things that other people can't. When you're out in a farm area, you do everything, but you might not be the best at it because you're not pulling in new knowledge either.
Right.
So this is
you're just trying to keep up with what you know.
So nothing new about that. And then the second thing I have about patch versus fix is cost benefit.
Right.
Right. So a lot of people do the thing where they'll fix their car. Right. You fix it on your own. You're like, all right, I can't go do a gig that's 2 hours away because that's probably not going to work. But I can get to work this week. And so you're doing a cost benefit. Now, what happens in emergency? I don't know. Fuck. But one of those things we do this all day, really, if you think about it. You do a cost benefit analysis because you're doing risk a lot of the time too. Yeah. So what's the risk part of not having AC? Well, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. But we can get a lot of fans.
Air drives off a cliff.
By the way, we have a big industrial fan in there you can take.
Okay.
Which you should. And a small baby fan in there too.
Oh, a little baby fan.
Yeah, little baby fan. For this reason, because I've gone and got the HDX $9 big industrial fan at Home Depot, but I can't throw it away. For like
physically, you can't find a garbage can big enough.
No, well, yeah, technically, yes, you're right. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a good fan. I'll need it at some point, or you'll need it, or someone that comes in this office. But I get called a hoarder, which might be.
That's not stupid to keep that. I mean, that's obvious. Gonna have a great benefit when you need it.
Right.
That's not stupid.
And you'll forget it on the way out.
Yeah, for sure. I already forgot what we're talking about.
Yeah. So there's a cost benefit to a lot of cheap people, right? Don't value a real fix.
Right.
But you have to have that first part to be able to really assess the second thing. So the first part being community or like trusted vendors or trusted hires or whatever, trusted people.
Right.
The second part, a lot of people will do that without the first part.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets tough.
Yeah. It's
making a decision without all the information.
Yeah, exactly. You're trusting your community in that scenario to know what's best.
And then time's another factor you can throw in there too, because when you have to make decisions on the fly,
right?
I feel like when I'm taking care of myself personally, my instincts on decision making are really, really intact.
Yeah.
But when I'm not off the rails. I'm not like Motley Crue back in the day, but if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm working too long, I'm not sleeping enough, I'm not eating well, and I can get in that kind of. I'm trying to work on consistency personally, as far as my work-life balance.
Newsflash, asshole!
Not working out, all those things I know that keep me on track.
Right.
Lower the anxiety, all that stuff. That plays into decision making for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this will dovetail into, I have a list of bros that I'm going to...
#bro list. Here it comes.
I've got a list of bros that I need to cut out of I'm going to ask for their playbook and cut them like and cut them like Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you have a seat there?
So, yeah, why don't you come in my office? Bring your playbook with you. Yeah. So the first one, I have to bring this up on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I was texting these to someone. So first guy is I used this earlier. I had a guy say unreasonably upset. Any guy that says I'm upset and really means it.
What do you mean? Like he's upset?
If you're a guy, you're angry or you're pissed.
Right.
You're never upset. You never go, I'm really upset with you, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
didn't think about that.
Do you ever...
I'd be like, are you a robot?
Adjacent to that is the bro that sincerely says, sorry for yelling, but I'm just really hangry.
Yeah, we've been over that. Don't come at me with hangry, all right, you bitch.
I hate that guy.
Like, shut up.
Guy that drinks White Claw, but not ironically.
I don't know
not
what that is, but
that's a new lady drink. It's like LaCroix, but it has booze in it.
Oh,
And then there's White Claw, and there's another one that are like, are you this or you that kind of Pepsi Coke with it. Dude that buys the internet joke product and then actually wears it later.
Right, like me right now?
No, that's not like a BuzzFeed trend shirt, like tank top.
Not yet.
That's like, I like that because it's like,
It's subtle.
but it's like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
And it took me like half a second to go, that's a Dixie cup.
Yeah.
Other people, not as sharp, they're going to be just confused.
Yeah. Good.
I'm talking male romper.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
That wasn't a real thing.
No.
I wish we asked Liz Newman, who was on the podcast a couple episodes ago, who creates these listicles and these internet trends and all these things. That was, I guarantee you, that was 100% a joke manufactured. They bought 5 of them and got some guys to wear them for a joke.
They're a joke for women too. What
Yeah.
kind of outfit do you need to get completely naked to take a pee-pee? It's insane. It's stupid. Like, you have to like completely undress.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
There's no long john like hatch at the back.
Right. No.
Interesting.
I
I didn't
don't
think
know
about
if
that.
they do. They're the disruptors.
For the guys, I wonder if there's like a slit, like
Mm-mm.
boxer briefs,
Gotta
where
get
it's like
full
2
nude.
flops over each other.
Nope.
All right.
Nothing.
Yeah, get naked to take a pee-pee. You've been hanging around with the kids for sure. Here's one that's you're thinking a little opposite. Man that doesn't think rainbows are amazing. We should all be like the double rainbow guy.
Yes, exactly. I hate that when I'm like, hey, look how cool those clouds look. They're like,
Yeah.
shut up, fag.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's cool. Look at it. It's
Do you
just
realize there's fucking colors
Right.
that we don't even understand how our eye works against that? That might not even exist.
Yes.
And they're like, huh?
Yeah.
And you're like, your eye fucking, it sees it in a different prism
Yeah.
things.
I mean, just think about like cavemen back in the day, how mind-blowing that must have been. Just like, what the fuck
no wonder they
does that
fucking
mean?
thought gold was at the
Right.
end of that shit because you can never find it.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
That was my thought. I pulled the car over and showed the kids. I was like, look at that rainbow.
Yeah. And they're
They're like, that's cool.
they just keep going after that rainbow and you never get to it.
Yeah, that man was my son. He's 3. No, and then the last one I had was, and this one we've talked about on the podcast a lot. The friend of yours that's stressed all the time, but when you're like, hey, let's go do this. Oh man, I'm really busy.
Yeah.
But you know without real empirical evidence, he makes ample time for Fortnite or Pornhub,
Oh yeah.
right?
Right.
You're like, you're not busy. I
Yeah.
know you.
You just that your priorities are not in line with mine.
But I've seen you like on Twitch playing Fortnite, or I've seen you post about playing Fortnite on Twitter or something,
Right.
or Pornhub, make a Pornhub joke one too many times where you're like, that's real inside baseball.
Yeah.
You have to be on there aggressively.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that do the I'm busy,
Yeah.
and
Such
you're
a
like,
lazy
what
thing.
the fuck? All right, and the last one, last thing before we get out, is I got Tom James. You ever been Tom James?
Who's Tom James?
Let me make sure that's the right name.
Tom Jane was Punisher.
No,
Based in
I
Tampa.
wish I got Tom Jane. This is Tom James' company, and I should have given them your info. It's like all the pharmaceutical reps. You know how like they would hire a bunch of hot chicks in their 20s.
Oh yeah.
Now that job's kind of getting eliminated, and I think they're kind of moving them over to Tom James' company. What it is a bespoke suit company. So think of like Indochino,
Mhm.
but there's an actual person that comes to meet you.
Ooh.
And now there's a thing where I got Tom James by our friend Steve Fantetti, who's on couple of episodes ago, probably 10 episodes ago. He's our business attorney, but he Tom James me. He knows I don't wear suits really unless it's a funeral or a wedding. But he's like, I don't know,
would you?
maybe you need some nice clothes. And I was like, and then he started laughing. And I
What
was
do you do? Send the little Italian man over to your house?
No, it's a hot chick.
Oh, okay.
And she comes over with like a PowerPoint. They have like an iPad Pro with the pencil in it. Well, they have a PowerPoint they go through, and this one hit me up that's new to Tampa. She went to Auburn, so I go, look, I don't wear this stuff, but if you want to come by for 15 minutes,
come by and measure my inseam.
I was like, you're from Auburn, living here. I'll help you at least navigate Tampa's waters, kind of thing.
Probably barely read.
Well, we're math college.
Oh,
and
right.
So I didn't know this was a thing because what I did was I took all the Auburn guys I know that live here in the Tampa Bay area, and I gave her their numbers to her, and then one of them hit me up. And he was like, "Bro, did you just fucking Tom James me?" And I was like, "Oh, this is the thing. I forgot because this has happened to me 5 times where they hit me up."
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even
because we work with so many attorneys that all the attorney friends of mine that wear suits, they would give my name away as a referral because either it's like they're fucking with me or they're like, this guy needs to dress up more, which I have been doing.
It's hard.
Been wearing a button down. Yeah, it's
good for you.
I bet I couldn't do. Someone bet me to do it. A friend of mine. He was like, I bet it'll help your business development.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't get Tom James, or you should Tom James your friends. This is in every city. I'm telling you, this is a thing.
Okay.
And they're really aggressive.
Should I be expecting a call from this woman now?
I'm gonna send her your info just so you can experience it.
It's fine.
But you don't have to make the meeting. I just wanted to try to help her. I go, look, not my wheelhouse, but you're an Auburn person. Maybe I can help you just around here. I have the community here.
Yeah.
That you might not.
Yeah.
I can help you make better decisions on patching versus fixing.
Gotcha. Got anything else, buddy?
That's it.
All right.
What about my sweat equity?
SweatEquityPod.com.
Ooh.
My sweat equity.
Creative Loping.
My
Vote
sweat
for all our
equity.
shit.
All that stuff.
And all that whatnot.
Do we hit the post roll?
What about my sweat equity?